Howdy VC, cheers from Norway. I thought I'd do a video about some German 80s metal, some bands, and just gonna show some. I'm not gonna show everything I have, because then it would take until tomorrow. I'm just gonna show some favorite bands and so, some vinyl records from the 80s that I like. So starting with of course the first German Scorpions, Animal Magnetism, great album. This one, 1980. The Zoo is on this one of my favorite songs, Scorpion songs, Scorpions. And of course Accept, Restless and Wild. Remember first time I heard this, Fast as a Shark, in 1982 or 83 or what year it's from. How fast it was, real heavy back in the days. This is the classic cover, Burning Flying V's, great album. Every song on this album is great. And of course the first Tankard album, great album, punk, a bit of punkish metal, thrash metal, great album. 1986 on Noise, I really recommend this one. I talked about it before. Great album. If you're gonna listen to one Tankard album, you're gonna listen to this one, Zombie Attack. And of course Halloween, Walls of Jericho. Walls of Jericho, great album. I have 2 copies, and it's like, this is more colored than this. This is on Combat and this is on Noise, so different, more color on this one. Both originals. 1986. Another cool band from Germany, Rage. This is Perfect Man album. I do have some more Rage albums, but I thought I'd show just this one this time. Great song called Don't Fear the Winter on this one. This too is on Noise, 1988. Rage, cool band. And this band have a lot of albums from the. I think they started in the 70s. Just thought I'd show this one. Mass, Warlaw. I have many albums by this band. Cool song, first song called Warlaw. Really metal song. Mass from Germany, 1984. Warlaw, cool cover art. This one too, great album. Exhumer, Rising from the Sea. This is what year? This too is an original. I don't say, 87 maybe or something. I think 86, 87. Great album. I really recommend this. If you like, it reminds me kind of Slayer. This is old Slayer. Exhumer, Rising from the Sea. Great album. Great thrash metal. SPV Records, Disaster Records, some German Arrow, Master of Evil. It's like a 4-track EP. They even have yodeling on this one. Cool heavy metal band. I think they just released this album, or a 4-track, Master of Evil, 1985. SPV, it says. They have a song called Slave of Karen Castle, cool song. And they have a song called Heavy Metal Hero, dedicated to Bon Scott. Arrow, Master of Evil from Germany. This one too is a cool 5-track. Hardware in Cold Blood. 6,000 Bones, a cool song. This is on Steam Hammer, 1985. I do have another album by these guys. Hardware. Jörg Franz lead guitar, that sounds familiar, but Hardware in Cold Blood. Scanner, great band, great power metal. Hypertrace 2 is a great album, I thought I'd show this one. Terminal Earth, great German power metal. This is on Noise, 1989-1990 it says. Terminal Earth. Of course, just check out Hypertrace, I think it's called, the other one. This too, great album. Victory, Temples of Gold, great hard rock album this one. 1990 this is from. Metronome Records, this BMG or something. Great album, I recommend this one. Temple of Gold. This too, I have a lot of albums by. I thought I'd show this one. Sinner, Touch of Sin, great album. Born to Rock is on this one. I think Emerald is that the Thin Lizzy song. Let me check. Emerald, I don't think so. Sinner, Touch of Sin, 1985. Cool song, Born to Rock on this one. Matt Sinner on vocals. Great hard rock. This too. Iron Angel, Hellish Crossfire, great thrash, heavy metal. 1980 something, 85 yes. The other one too I have, Winds of War, cool album. Hellish Crossfire, Iron Angel. I bought all these when they came out back in the days. Steeler, self-titled. With Axel Rudy Pell. Steeler. I do have another 2-3 albums by Steeler. This is the first one, 1984, on the famous Mausoleum label. Earthshaker Mausoleum it says. Cool one. I thought I'd show a Warlock album, True as Steel. Warlock, True as Steel. On Vertigo, 1986. I do have a lot of Warlock albums. This too, great album. Living Death, Vengeance of Hell. Cool first album, debut album on Mausoleum, 1984. I believe this is from. I do have a lot of other Living Death albums. I just listened to this, it was really cool. Great thrash heavy metal, Living Death, Vengeance of Hell. I do have it on CD too, I think. Living Death, great band. Bonfire, Don't Touch the Light, Stereo Nice is here. I remember they showed that on MTV a lot. 1986, BMG. Bonfire. They used to be called Cacumen before this. I do have a Cacumen album too, called Bad Widow, I think. It was like pre-Bonfire. And of course, Destruction, Sentence of Death. Remember buying this back in the day. It was kind of a blind buy. I ordered it through mail order, didn't know what it was. It just at that time they called this kind of stuff death metal. It was before the internet, back in the days. Used to order a lot by mail, these records. And I kept it ever since, 1984. Great debut EP, you can call it. Sentence of Death, original, Steamhammer. And of course, Infernal Overkill, 1985. Great album, great band. Bestial Invasion, one of my favorite songs. The Destruction. Then we have Restless, Heart Attack. do have some other albums by these guys too. Typical German metal. 1984 on Scratch Records, I think this is on. Restless, Heart Attack. Another classic German band, Stormwitch, Walpurgis Night. Classic German heavy metal, great album this one. I do have a lot of other Stormwitch albums. This is their first album. From, I think this too is 1984, if I'm not mistaken. Cave of Steenfall, Priest of Evil, Walpurgis Night, great song. Classic German metal. These two I talked about before in another video. Tyrant, Mean Machine. They too have some other albums, but this is the one you better check out if you like Motorhead and that kind of metal. Really cool album, this one. Mean Machine, 1984. Really recommend this one. And this one too, as shown before. Underdog, Rabies in Town. Great album on the Museum label. I think it's 84, this one too. They do a great cover version of Under My Wheels, the Alice Cooper song. Underdog, Rabies in Town. Classic cover art. And this one too, Trance, as shown before, I think. Power Infusion by Trance. Great album, Heavy Metal Queen, great song. Rockstar, great song. 1983, I think this is from. Trance. They changed their name to Transmission. I do have some other albums by Trance, and I do have a Transmission album too. Recommend this one. Power Infusion by Trance, 1983. And this one too, Bullet, No Mercy. Bullet, 1984, CBS Records. Bullet. Cool cover. And I thought I'd show an Udo album. This is my favorite Udo album, Faceless World. Great album. 1990 this is from. My favorite Udo album, Faceless World. And I thought I'd show I have to show some Sodom, of course, in The Sign of Evil. The Sign of Evil, 1984, or I believe this is mini album, original. I do have 2 copies of this one actually. Sodom, Obsessed by Cruelty, Sodom, original on Steam Hammer, 85, 86. I do like the Sodom, later Sodom albums. This one, Agent Orange, great album. Ausgebombt, great song. I'm not sure what year this is 89 or 1989, yes. This is, I really recommend Agent Orange by Sodom. They're still going strong. Great album, great band. This one too, great album. Tyrant Face, Long Live Metal, with Ralf Scheppers, who is from now in Primal Fear. Great German heavy metal. They have a couple of other albums too that I have. I for an Eye and another one. Recommend this one, Long Live Metal, classic German heavy metal. 86, I think this is from, on the Noise label. '85, Tyrant Face, Long Live Metal, great album. This one too I've shown before, I think. Brain Fever, self-titled. Great cover art, great on the great label Mausoleum, this one too, the classic Mausoleum label, 1984. I think I mentioned it before. Great song called Suicide on this one. Brain Fever. I do have some other Brain Fever albums too. This one I remember I bought when it came out and was kind of really dug this when it came out. Running Wild, Gates to Purgatory. Was before the pirate stuff. This is their debut album, 1984 I think this is from. Really recommend this one. This and Branded and Exiled and Under Jolly Roger are my favorites. Running Wild, Gates to Purgatory. This one too, Faithful Breath, Golden Glory, I think I've shown this before. They did some albums in the 70s and they came back in the 80s, and this is from 84. If you like kind of accepts that kind of metal. Great song Golden Glory, a great ballad called A Million Hearts on this one. Great album this one, Golden Glory by Faithful Breath on the famous Mausoleum label. Recommend that one. And of course the first Gravedigger album, Heavy Metal Breakdown. Great album. My favorite Gravedigger album. Kind of lost interest later in these guys, but I do listen to this occasionally. 1983 I think this is from. Gravedigger. This too, Warrant, great speed metal. Warrant, The Enforcer. Also recommend the mini album. Warrant, The Enforcer. And this one, Mad Max, Stormchild. Great hard rock, melodic hard rock, some metal in it. Mad Max, Stormchild, 1985. Roadrunner it says. Mad Max, Stormchild. And the last one I'm going to show is the band I think should be in the big, if it was a big five. I don't understand why it don't have to be all American, so this is my favorite to be in the big four if it was a big five. It's Kreator, Pleasure to Kill. Awesome album, my favorite Kreator album. These guys could be in the big five if there was a big five. And they still do it after all these years. Great album, Pleasure to Kill. My favorite Kreator album. Also can mention Kingdom Come, that has some German relation. With Lenny Wolf, their debut album. Even though there are some Americans in it, Lenny Wolf is German, so. But so that's it with some German metal from the 80s. I've just shown a little bit. So some recommendation there. And if there ever was a big five in thrash, fucking Kreator. Forget Testament and Overkill. This is the band that should be in the big five, Kreator. So that's my opinion, being a European too. So that's all. Please do subscribe and leave a comment if you like, and we'll do some other videos soon. In the meantime, God bless. Greetings from Norway. Cheers.